Hi everyone and welcome to today's Thank Card. It's Friday. Today we'll be using the Chalk Talk card and the Modern Medley Designer Series paper. It's been a really awesome paper to use. I find the vanilla with the black is just such a elegant type of look that you can achieve. So what we're going to do is we've got the Naturals Ivory cardstock and we're going to use that as the base of today's card, and it's just been scored up the top. Okay, and then we've got the black, basic black as a matting, and the polka dot. Then we've got a strip, same Designer Series paper, Modern Medley, and this is going to be towards the side. I have used the Stampin Up basic black satin ribbon, which is now retired, but hopefully they'll bring it back. And then I've got some hemp twine, which I've both tied as a bow. Now I've also, prior to this video, made some Stampin Up using the, what do you call that, that new mould, so you can make flowers and buttons. Now I've been having a ball with this. It's been a bit of trial and error trying to get it not to stick when you put some extra ink in to colour it up, but it's been fun. Now I've cut around this one to make it smaller, and then I've also just sprayed some shimmer paint with some icicle on that one. Okay, so pretty much I'm just going to be putting this card together for you. I have punched out also in the basic black this border lace punch. It is retired, but this is one of my favourite punches to use. Hopefully Stampin' Up can make another big border punch. This has been one of my favourites to use. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to use just a little something for a very special someone as the sentiment for this card. So we're going to be using basic black cardstock, Whisper White ink, and that stamp. Okay, this has a coordinating die as well, which you can run through the Big Shot, which I'll use. Okay, so pretty much stamping that. Now, because I'm using Whisper White craft ink, I like to press down for as long as I can, and with a lot of pressure, then lifting straight up. Now I've just got to make sure you get good coverage. And this one, because it's craft ink, it does take a little bit longer to dry, so you have to set that aside. So I've done one already, and I'm going to run that one through the big. Okay, so grabbing the same stamp that's now cleaned, I'm using Stays On Black ink, and I'm just going to stamp on Blushing Bride cardstock, because that is what the ink that I use for the rose, for the mould. Now I'm only just wanting, now I need to get a scrap piece of paper underneath, because all I want is the sentiment something. So I'm just going to stamp that like that. And there you go. I just want to have and cut out just freehand the word something. Okay, now, so slowly I've got all my bits and pieces coming together. Now I want to soften this vanilla look, so I'm just going to grab my crumb cake ink and just my sponge. Okay, so just finishing sponging off my piece here, and then I'm going to do the same on this one just to bring it in so it's not as, almost looks like that, almost vintage, just not so stark, very vanilla. So I'll keep doing that. Okay, so I've got my En Francais background stamp, which is my favourite go-to big background stamp. It's still matted on the black, it's not going to make a difference. I'm just going to ink up with the crumb cake this background stamp, just making sure I'm pressing nice and tight and hard. There you go. And then I'm just going to stick this on it, and I'm just going to press down, not rub the whole thing, but just slightly everywhere. And you can see the beautiful kind of splotchy of the written script. It'll come out better in the photo. Okay, so I think that's just adds an extra bit of layered stamping element to your card. If you want, you can do it to the strip, which I think I just absolutely adore that look. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on the strip as well. And you can tell I've reused my black cardstock, and I've written on the back as well. Okay, there you go. And so I'm just going to adhere that down like that. Now I'm not going to pop it up on dimensionals because I'm going to put quite some layers to this card. Alright, so I'm then going to adhere this down onto here, and I just want to make sure I get, maybe I might stick it down like that. Now my favourite adhesive to use when it's such delicate designs is my Tombow Mono adhesive, and I tend to also just place little tiny spots around the delicate pieces, and it's so minute and tiny that you don't really squash it out when you press the glue down. So that's that. Now I would like to also, I'm going to be using my Victoria lace ribbon, and I'm going to find that I'm going to use a strip of red sticky strip along here to adhere. Okay, so I've just used some red sticky strip that I've placed down gently, and I'm going to grab some crochet ribbon and then just place that along there. And I've got special ribbon scissors that I only allocate for my ribbon, so I don't want anyone touching them. To cut cardstock, it's just purely for ribbon, and I think it's important to allocate certain scissors, certain things. I think it just keeps, you know, them to last that little bit longer. Now I just put snail, you can scotch tape them, which I see a lot happening on the YouTube world, but I'm just happy just to keep that as is. Okay, then I'm going to, it's going to be mounted, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put that on dimensionals. I think some nice dimensionals. I love these hexagon dimensionals from Stampin' Up. I find they're quite sticky, and they really last a long time with the adhesive, and I feel like you're never you know, worried about the card moving then, whether you're posting it or becoming unstuck, especially when you've put lots of layers on your cardstock. Okay, so that's just going to be matted down like that. Now, grabbing my satin ribbon and my twine, I've got some glue dots here, which I'm nearly at the end of the roll, which I'm going to have to, I've got a couple of spare boxes, but I make sure I have plenty on hand because I seem to use a lot, and I'm going to place that directly on top of that satin bow. I'm going to do the same again at the back of the satin bow using the glue dots. I'm going to use 2 this time, and I'm going to place that on the side like that because I'm going to want the sentiment to be, I don't know if I'm going to put it on an angle or sit it upright, but I'm pretty happy so far with how it's coming along together. Okay, so I'm pretty much going to use the glue dot again to stick my homemade rose like that. Okay, so I have cut out that something from Blushing Bride. Now I've also got a marker here, a Blushing Bride marker, so I'm sticking to the Blushing Bride vanilla black theme. I'm going to use my brush tip, and I'm just going to colour on the craft because it's nice and dry, and I gave it a little bit of a helping hand with my heat gun because I'm a little bit impatient, and I'm just colouring in just the petals, just to give it that little tiny bit of colour to match the actual cutout of the Stampin' Up of the sentiment. Alright, so it's only very minute, but I like to bring a little bit more colour into it. So I'm just grabbing some dimensionals. I'm going to put 3 along this banner sentiment. I'm loving the versatility that you can use with your stamps. You can also cut around it, you can add extra colour just by adding a layer like this. Alright, so now the back of this, I'm going to put some more dimensionals. I'm obviously loving my dimensionals in this card. But I think, you know, with me saying before that I don't want anything moving and I want to add that little bit of height, dimensionals are perfect for your card to do that. And I think I'm just going to make that straight. Like that. Now, I'm not finished yet because you know me, I think it just needed that bling and pearl along there, just on the little rosette. If you do like your bling, I've got the string of baby pearls from Stampin' Up, and you can also place them along the little flowers, but this might be a bit fiddly for me, so I might leave it. Yeah, I might leave it. I think I'm just going to be quite happy just to keep it like that. Too much bling might take a little bit away from the original card. So you can give it a little bit of a tidy up with your hemp twine. But I think overall I'm quite happy with this card. I'm sure, you know, anyone who would receive it would like it, hopefully. So that's my thank card. It's Friday. Something quite layered, which I do like my layers. I think it adds quite dimensions, and you can see all the dimensions to the card using the dimensionals. So thanks for watching Thank Card It's Friday. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video, and don't forget to leave a comment and like my Facebook page or follow me on my blog, and it lets you know on my blog what I've used and what items in a little project recipe. Okay, well, hope you have a lovely weekend. It's school holidays for me here in Australia, Queensland, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with my kids, but also that means because I don't have to go to work the next day, I'll be making some videos. Alright, take care guys. Happy paper craft.